What's up everyone, this is Joshi and I am back with a brand new video. Today I will be doing an exciting Minecraft update. This is the NVIDIA RTX beta update, and this update came out last week and it looks like it got updated because when I tried out the update last week it was a different background, but now they changed it and I guess they updated it, so we're gonna play it. And I currently don't have any new worlds, but we're gonna change that. So in the Minecraft marketplace, there are worlds that enable NVIDIA RTX. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, NVIDIA RTX is a lineup of NVIDIA graphics cards that came out 2 years ago. And what they do is they allow real-time ray tracing inside a video game. Because video games are rendered in real time, and they take a lot of processing power in order to render out worlds with effects that you would see in a video game, like lighting and shadow through shaders and all that. But ray tracing basically takes the rasterization technique over it, and it renders out every single effect on the screen to be as real life lighting as you would see in real life. And this is very beneficial if game developers want to create their own video games that achieve realism, and GeForce RTX is one of them. And as of last year and this year, for a few months now, other computer companies like AMD and Microsoft have been really working forward to make this possible through other platforms as well. And NVIDIA's upcoming RTX 3000 series will speed up ray tracing performance, and AMD's new GPU lineup that's coming this year will also feature hardware accelerated ray tracing. So I will tell you about the features of ray tracing. I don't know why I thought that would actually add it into my worlds list. I will show you the hardware features of ray tracing. Hardware tracing, uh, hardware tracing. Oops. So hardware ray tracing improves worlds, like I said, and there are a couple of features with it. First off, there's ray traced shadows, where there are hard and soft shadows, like in real life. Then there are ray traced global illumination and reflections, so you basically can see what's behind you in a reflection and you don't have to worry about it looking too dull, because in normal rasterization video games have their reflections very dull, but even though they look a little dull, they try to achieve the realism, but it's just not very equal. But ray tracing with RTX, it basically improves it. And there are also other features with RTX like DLSS, which is deep learning super sampling. In this feature, resamples pixels on your screen at a higher resolution, and it boosts your frame rate. So you don't have to enable anti-aliasing in your graphics card control panel, because DLSS will enhance it. And I'm not sure what AMD will have with ray tracing that they're going to introduce in their new future GPUs, but hopefully they'll have something similar. And AMD for the past couple of months has been dominating over high budget companies lately, their competitors like NVIDIA and Intel. But here we go. Here is the RTX world. As you can see, there are... Oops. I did not mean to do that. Hold on a second. Sorry. Phone was ringing. I was trying to pause the video, but it was not working. As you can see, there are ray trace reflections here, and you can see the entire reflection on the bottom. It's so cool. And it's from up here. And with the DLSS, I can see closely some bit of artifacts with pixels, but this is still a beta, so it will get fixed. And I did reinstall the version of the beta, so it does seem a bit more optimized a little bit. They're working on it still. There is some issues like the bobbing hand where it goes through objects. They are working on that. And with the reflections here, how they're rendered in real time with the ray tracing, they're still working on where no matter if the bobbing hand is there, they're going to try and view the whole entire character in the wall. So they're working on those things. There's still things to be worked out. How I got this, they're hosting this live on the Xbox Insider Hub. I basically joined the beta, and I plan to get out of the beta so I don't have to keep this forever. But here are some things that you're seeing with the global illumination illuminating off of the character's hand and the character itself. And you can see the shadows too, and the lighting like illuminating on the wall there. Now, as you can see, there are a bit of artifacts when I'm moving. There is some noising effects that are going on. This is common to when you're first rendering real-time ray tracing. Obviously, it takes a lot of coding to actually work it out to be as smooth as possible. But this is going to be beneficial in games. This is like something I want to create one day in the video game I would make. And the character is reflecting, and it's like an illusion of you seeing yourself twice at once. It's so crazy, so awesome, and the results are just so awesome. You can even see the different light sources illuminating off each other. Now we're gonna go to another room, and we will see what they actually look like. So this is the build your own lamp room. Open your creative menu and play with new blocks. So it's recommended to set the time to that or noon. And look at the rays of light casting down with ray tracing. And as you can see with the new rendering system and with RTX capabilities, textures are more enhanced. And this is no shady update. This is actually real. As you can see the shadows being illuminated off of the light, and rays of light from the sun, which is the big light source of Minecraft, is actually rendering out rays to be pointed wherever direction you are. And it could cast shadows and ambient occlusion, which in simpler terms, it renders out dark spots that's being obscured by other objects in a way. There are actually some blocks in this resource pack installed in this world that basically changes color. So I can place a red block here, and it illuminates around this room. I can place a orange one, a yellow one, a light green, a lime one, or a green one, and it actually changes the color, and you can see the extra bits of color illuminating on the wall. And you can see the light reflecting off of the blocks there. That's pretty cool. Now, since I said it is a resource pack that's custom, there is a tutorial how to edit your own resource pack, and you can apply bump mapping or height map surfaces. And yeah, that's some of the examples of ray tracing. And if I go out here, it's actually a flat world, but you can see a bunch of the rays casting down. You can see a bunch of fog, but here is the sun is actually pointing down to here, and the render distance for ray tracing is on chunk 8. You can see the hard shadows that are being cast through these blocks, if you can see, and the global illumination is reflecting off of this block here. And I'm not sure if it's the denoising or if it's the feature, RTX feature, but I am seeing like streaks of light coming from the blocks there. Not sure if it's a thing that they're trying to work out or if it's just the feature itself. I'm not sure. But we are going to go to a different world, and we are going to do my own world. Well, first I have to get a resource pack, so I will be right back. And I can't play on any servers because they're on the final build of Minecraft that's currently available. And if I try logging in one, it will say the server's outdated, or we don't support this client version yet, the update is coming soon. So I can't run those servers. So I will be right back with the resource packs, and we will get into a world. Okay, everyone, I'm back, and took some time to get the resource pack. The reason why I have to get a resource pack is because that it currently doesn't have a resource pack built into the game where I can just easily enable DirectX ray tracing or RTX. So I just got a resource pack into the game, and since DirectX ray tracing is now available, since I got the resource pack, I can play the game. So I'm going to name this My RTX World, and it's on creative, and we're going to put on peaceful because I don't really like monsters. Nobody does. I'm going to do immediate respond. I'm not going to keep it on always day because I'm going to show off some effects. And the weather cycle, we're going to turn that off because weather doesn't really work on this version of Minecraft. So when it's raining, it's going to show rain droplets, but it'll just not darken up the world, and the sun will be showing. So they are working on fixing that. And we're in a normal Minecraft world. This is normal, and you can see the fog over there. It doesn't look nice. But if we turn RTX on, which I will show you in a second. Oh yeah, that's right. I have to enable the resource pack. What am I doing? Hold on a minute. Oh, wait. I haven't activated it through the world creation menu. That's why. Okay. So now we have something. Sorry about that, folks. Didn't know that wasn't enabled. Next time I have to enable the resource pack in the create world menu before I go into the game, or else it won't be available. And I am playing this at 1440p, so it is going to be a bit slower. But here's the RTX world, and you can see the features on the blocks here, and it looks really nice. I'm in a snow biome, and how it works in real life is that if there's any object that's floating in the far distance, like my hand or myself, then the shadow will get softer. But if I go closer, the shadow will get harder. So there's hard and soft shadows. I was really impressed by the Gamescom 2019 demo I first saw, and I was really excited for it. I'm glad that I'm able to get a hands-on experience on it. I'm not using my gaming laptop, so that's why you see the graphics card's different. But we're gonna not talk so much and just explain what else you can find in RTX. So I'm gonna set this to nighttime, and we're gonna view different light sources. And like I said, with the denoising, that's an issue they're working on. Here's a torch. If I place one down, it'll actually eliminate light. But with one torch, it isn't enough. But with more, it'll actually eliminate more. And as you can see the shadows being casted from the littlest light source. That's pretty awesome. And because of the properties of the Minecraft grass like this, you can actually see the torches illuminating down on the grass. It's actually made to be a little reflective. Not sure why, but I guess that's the design choice they were going for. Or if it's just they're still working on optimizing it. But it looks pretty awesome. This is pretty beneficial if you want to create maps or create an area with your text with torches and it's nighttime. Pretty nifty, I should say. Okay, here we go. This was an issue that they fixed. Apparently clouds were opaque. That means that they were too hard and they weren't transparent. I'm glad they actually fixed this, so now I can actually see through them instead of making them look like they're just solid blocks. But if I go into daytime here, wait, I'm not sure if they... Okay, so they're still working on it. It kind of does look a little opaque, but they're still working on it. My favorite thing about the ray tracing is the shadows. I really like how the hard shadows look and the soft shadows. More of the fan of the hard shadows. They look pretty cool. You can even see the shadows on the mobs too. Look at that. Oh my. Oh, he does not look safe. Why is he looking at me? Is that the killer bunny? No, it can't be. Wait a minute. Let me go into game mode 0 and see if this bunny is actually harmful. No, he doesn't look... No, he's not harmful. He's harmless. It reminded me of the killer bunny that was supposed to be in Minecraft, but it was removed because it would be too unfair and you could easily get killed by the killer bunny. So, yeah. I like how the sun is casting shadows and it's casting cloud shadows, and it really adds the realistic lighting. But obviously shadows are a thing in Minecraft. It isn't something that's gradual. So I am going to turn off the clouds, render clouds off, so it can be more clear. Here we go. This is an awesome update. Now I'm going to be comparing frame rate differences with this DLSS feature on and without it off. I mean on. So I'm going to turn off upscaling, and with that off, the performance has decreased. It's decreased to 24 FPS, and it's very terrible. Even though it's at a crisp setting where I can see the pixels more crisper, it actually decreases the frame rate. So what I have to do is turn on upscaling to keep it at a maximum frame rate while I'm playing with RTX on. That's the most core important thing about this. And obviously it is going to be a feature in every single game on computer that will support upscaling features like DLSS. And you will get frame rate improvements with it. As you saw in the options menu, there is a ray tracing render distance, but if I turn it up, it actually will decrease the frame rate a little bit more. So I'm going to just keep it a little low, or let's compare differences. I'm at 12. It renders the ray tracing and increases the chunk distance, which is pretty good at 63 FPS. But I am going to keep it at 8 just for optimal reasons. Let's play around in this. We are going to be blowing up stuff like I usually do in Minecraft videos. So I'm going to make this tall TNT structure. You can see the hard shadows. You see the shadow Now I'm going to set it to around 12,000. And you can see the shadow so tall because the sunlight, which is the light source of the whole world, is being casted at a lower angle. So I'm going to set it to daytime. And as you can see, the shadow is even taller since it's pointing this way. The sun is pointing this way also. So the shadow changes direction, which is awesome. I like it. And as you saw in the distance, the shadow does disappear when a block is a entity, because they said that falling blocks aren't a actual thing with ray tracing yet. Like they don't work with it yet. So it is going to not be visible, but they are working on it to make it more realistic. Now we're gonna find a cave system, and before I do that, let's look into water. The water reflects off what's being viewed by. And with ray tracing, since it's using rays, it actually bounces off light and it will give off real life properties. So reflective water is now a thing in Minecraft. Well, it has been a thing, but it hasn't been looking like this in years. The norm for Minecraft to be looking realistic is shaders, but now this is going to be a new norm as soon as this update comes out in the future. And the water is so reflective. You can even see the world on top of you. That's how cool it is. It is weird looking, but that's how it just is. Now, I don't think ice... Well, ice can reflect off light, but I don't think it's like a clear thing. I think it's just how the item looks like. So we're not gonna worry about ice. We're just gonna look into the... Okay, there is a cave, but it's not a full cave. Let's just dig down. Excuse me. That's awesome. I really love this update. I am gonna unenroll so I don't have to keep this update. Now, other dimensions like the end, they're not optimized for ray tracing, so I could imagine how it would look like. It won't look pretty, but I mean, at least this is something. Well, this is not my best representation of a cave, but you can see the torches actually illuminating off light, and the shadows from these torches are being cast onto the objects, and even the smallest object can view shadow. Well, it doesn't look like it's viewing closer to the light source, but you get what I mean. Well, it's viewing a little bit of light. We're gonna go back up. Okay, so since global illumination is not only revolves in lighting being reflected off, but anything that's actually colored, like glass, can see the color being reflected off. And glass actually reflects off too, like I mentioned earlier. And I can see myself, sort of. But if we switch the time sequence, you can, well, let's get somewhere away from a shadow. You can actually see the color being reflected off. If you're in a dark room and this is actually reflecting off the color, go away, cow. It actually does its job. It's really cool. And I'm standing on this, and I can see my feet. I can see the reflection too. Oh my goodness. This is no ordinary shader, guys. This is something very cool. I can even see through there, and the sun is being reflected off. There's a little dot. Wow. Awesome sauce. And I think that will conclude this video. I didn't want to make this video too long. We're going to look at this llama. You can see that this llama is standing in the sun. You can see its crisp shadow. And the hard shadow is right close to the feet of the llama. You can see my shadow under my character's neck or cube. It's actually hard shadow. It's a hard shadow. So we're gonna conclude this video. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful tech demo that I showcased. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Later, dudes.